الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن أول بيت وضع للناس الذي ببكة مباركا وهدى للعالمين وقال تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله نعمة الله عليكم إذ جاءتكم جنود فأرسلنا عليهم ريحا وجنودا لم تروها وكان الله بما تعملون بصيرا وقال تعالى سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه السميع العليم صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد. Respected listeners, my dear brothers in Islam, a few weeks ago when the Imam Sahib, he sent me a WhatsApp message that can you make a bayan in our masjid on the Holy Land. So I said, what do you mean by Holy Land? Do you mean Jerusalem? Because of course when the Christian people or when the people in English in this country, when you say Holy Land, they mean Jerusalem and they mean Bethlehem, isn't it? But when you say Holy Land to a Muslim, the first question that comes is Makkah Mukarramah and Medina Munawwara. So I said, what do you mean by Holy Land? Do you mean Makkah Mukarramah, Medina Munawwara, or do you mean Masjid Aqsa? So Maulana Sahib said, all three of them. I said, okay, I'll say a few words on all three of them. So I've recited in front of you 3 verses from the Quran Kareem pertaining to each of these 3 blessed places. One of the calamities of this zamana, of this age is that these are all the symbols of Islam, whether Makkah Mukarramah and the Baytullah, or Medina Munawwara and the Masjid al-Nabawi, or whether Jerusalem and the Masjid Aqsa. All these are the Sha'air Allah, they are the symbols of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one thing is this, that the more respect we have for the symbols of Allah, the stronger our iman will be. Quran, I'm not a hafiz of the Quran. وَمَنْ تُعِذِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. Those people who respect the symbols of Allah, فَإِنَّهُ مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ, that is because of the goodness of the hearts, because of the taqwa of the hearts. So the more we respect the symbols of Allah, the more stronger our iman will be. The more we lose the respect of the symbols of Allah, the weaker our iman will be, and the easier it will be for us to lose the love of Allah and the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the love of Islam, and the easier it will be for the kuffar and the mushrikeen and the munafiqeen to overcome us. So that's what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith as well, that as long as people perform the Hajj, Qiyamah will not come. And when people will stop performing the Hajj, then we'll be very, very close to Qiyamah. In the same way, there are lots of hadith that as long as people respect the Baytullah, or respect and the Baytullah or Makkah Mukarramah with the Baytullah, that is, you could say, the mother of the blessed places, isn't it? So when we, as far as the mu'mineen respect the Baytullah and the Masjid Nabawi and Masjid Aqsa, you could say, they will have honor and respect in this world. And when we lose this respect, then only calamity can come on this ummah. And there are lots of people say hadith like that. عن عياش بن أبي ربيع المخزومي قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تزال هذه الأمة بخير, that this ummah will always stay on the good, will always be on success. ما أزموا هذه الحرمة, as long as they respect the hurma and the sacredness of the blessed places in Makkah Mukarramah. حق تعظيمها, and they give it the respect which is due to it. فإذا ضيعوا, once they lose this respect, ذَلِكَ حَلَكُوا فَإِذَا ضَيَّعُوا ذَلِكَ حَلَكُوا, when they lose this respect, then they will be destroyed. Rawahu Ibn Majah. And today one of the calamities is when you go to Makkah Mukarramah you see, or you go to Medina Munawwara, I've not been to Jerusalem, but when you go to Makkah Mukarramah as well, and you go to Medina Munawwara as well, you find that there is no adab and there is no respect of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina Munawwara, or the house of Allah, and the feeling of the jalal of Allah. Because when you're in Makkah Mukarramah, and when you're in the haram of Makkah Mukarramah, and when you're in front of the Baytullah, you can feel the jalal of Allah, you can feel the majesty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can feel the tajalli of Allah falling on the Baytullah. But people have got no respect for this anymore. I've seen with my own eyes that we are sitting in the Mataf. It is the month of Ramadan Mubarak. The fast is about to open. 10 minutes left before iftar. People are busy in dua and dhikrullah. And there are people who are standing up and making their back towards the Baytullah, and people are saying, please take my video, take my photo, take my snap, and they're posing like that. This is the respect we have for the Baytullah. People are making tawaf of the Baytullah. It's a season of Hajj as well, so I'm saying these things, anyone going for Hajj, have them as well. And this tawaf of the Baytullah is a very, very blessed thing. Mahaji Farooq Sahib used to say that when you're making tawaf of the Baytullah, think in this way, or say in this way, that Ya Allah, in this mataf, the footsteps of all the Anbiya Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam have fallen. Isn't it? It's well known that Jerusalem was the place, or Masjid Aqsa was the place where Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam led all the Anbiya Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in Salah. It's one of the virtues of Masjid Aqsa. But we should know this as well, that every Nabi of Allah has performed the Hajj, and every Nabi of Allah has performed the Tawaf as well. So when we are sitting in the Mataf, when we are making Tawaf of the Baytullah, then imagine that, look and say that, Ya Allah, the footsteps of every Nabi of Allah have fallen in this Mataf. Not only the Anbiya Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but all the Sahaba Kiram, hundreds of thousands of Sahaba Kiram, their blessed footsteps have fallen in the Mataf as well. And many, many of the awliya Allah and pious people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Among the Sahaba Kiram, the Ul Azm Sahaba, the Khulafai Rashidin, the Ummahatul Mumineen, the Ahl Bayt, the Muhajirin and the Ansar, and the Badriin. You know, it's all these groups of Sahaba, their footsteps have fallen on the Mataf. You know, so he used to teach us that when you're making tawaf, make this dua to Allah, Ya Allah, due to the blessings of the footsteps, you forgive me. And as you know, the masla of tawaf, that because of the tajalli of Allah is on the Baytullah, and this whole Hajj is an act, the whole Hajj is an act to show love to Allah. That's why the Mashaykh written that this Hajj, it develops the love of Allah very, very powerfully and very, very quickly. And the person making the tawaf of the Baytullah is like that lover of Allah, who is going around the house of Allah. Allah does not need a house, but Allah has, in His bounty to us, He said, okay, this is my Baytullah. Allah doesn't need a house. But because a human being is such a creature, he needs something physical to relate to. So I said, okay, this is the Baytullah. This is the Kaabatullah. And you make tawaf of it. As if the lover is making or going down the house of the beloved. So while we're making tawaf of the Kaaba, you see that people are talking on the mobile phone as well. And even though it is permissible to talk on this tawaf, it's not impermissible, but not without necessity. People are ringing the phone and they're phoning as well, and they're doing all sorts of things and they're making tawaf as well. And while we make the tawaf, we're not supposed to look at the Baytullah. It's one of the masail of tawaf. But you find people making tawaf and they're looking at the Baytullah. This is respect to show. They are saying we are the lovers of Allah. We are going down the Baytullah and they're staring at the Baytullah. No, when you're making the tawaf, don't look at the Baytullah. Yes, when you come at Hajj al-Aswad and you make the istilam, that time you can look at the Baytullah. And when you finish your tawaf, you can sit in the mataf and look at the Baytullah as long as you love who is stopping you. But when you're making the tawaf, don't look at the Baytullah. Don't turn your back towards the Baytullah. To the extent it's written in the books of fiqh that if you making tawaf and somehow you make your back towards the Baytullah, go back to Hajar Aswad and start that round again. This is against the respect of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're making tawaf of His house and you're turning your back towards the house, or you're looking at the house. But you'll find there that people are talking on the mobile phone as well, making tawaf, they're looking at the Baytullah as well. And of course, the multazam, the part of the Baytullah between the door, where the door finishes, and when the Hajar Aswad, that's called the multazam. And Rasulullah ﷺ said that when you make dua, the place, make dua like the way a baby clings to the mother. It was the most blessed place to make dua in Makkah al-Mukarramah and in the Haram of Makkah is what's called the multazam. Now when you go there, you find people pushing as well. There was one person, and I think he was from South Asia, because you could see he would speak Urdu, he could understand and speak to Urdu. He came with his wife, and he was trying to push his wife to do the Baytullah, and her scarf came off as well, and her thing came off as well. I said, look, brother, Allah has, I know this is the best place to make dua, but this is not the way how you should push your wife to do that. Her scarf has come off as well. Pull her back. If you can't go there, you can stand there and make dua. Dua is the condition of the heart. You're standing there, you want to go and touch the Baytullah there, but you don't want to push anyone, you don't want to harm anyone. There's some women, the police is saying to the women, you stand back, say, hurry him, but they don't want to listen. So are you going to go and push them as well, and tear them apart as well, and take their head cuffs off as well? No, you do the best you can, and then stand and make dua. The dua is a condition of the heart. Sheikh Shahabun Sarawali Rahmatullah has written this, that I was in the Haram of Makkah, and one person was holding on to the kiswa of the Baytullah, and he was crying to Allah, he was making dua to Allah. I focused, he was a man of Allah, I focused on his qalb, I focused on his heart, and I saw that his heart was ghafil. His heart was not aware of Allah. He was catching the Baytullah, he was crying as well, but in his heart he wasn't aware of, he was not aware of Allah. He was not linked to Allah in his heart. And he said that then I went to Mina. I saw one young man who was selling fruit in Mina. He had this stand, and he was selling fruit to the people. I focused on his qalb. I saw that even for a second he was not unaware of Allah. He was selling fruit, but he was not unaware of Allah. That person was next to the Baytullah, but he was not aware of Allah. Mufti Taqi Sahib, as remembered, has written in one of his lectures that his father, Mufti Shafi Sahib Rahmatullah, used to say in his lecture that there was one person standing in front of the Mawaja Sharif, in front of the Roza of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And then, today even there you find so much disrespect. People are going with the shoes as well, and they are turning like this as well. There's one person who was taking a video of everything there. And his arms were like that. I'm a short man, so his elbow was hitting me in my head. I said, Baba, what are you going to do? You're hurting me. You're in front of Rasulullah, you're hurting me, you're trying to get a video. Isn't this disrespectful to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? So he said, he told me, what do you know about respect? I respect him more than you do. I said, okay, man. Okay, you say. So Mufti Shafi Sahib used to say that in his lecture, that there was this person, he had gone to the Roda of Rasulullah, and he was walking, and suddenly his legs could not walk any further. So he stopped there, and behind the pillar, there's some pillars there, behind the pillar, and he gave salam to Rasulullah. And he could see people who had gone right in front, very much in front. And he started thinking, Ya Allah, I don't feel strong enough to go that much in front. And look at these people, they are so blessed that they are right next to the netting, right next to the enclosure. How blessed they must be. Now I don't have the strength to go any nearer than this. Suddenly this person heard the voice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Rasulullah is telling, this person in Medina Munawwara is hearing the voice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam telling him, no, these people who are very close here are not necessarily close to me. Those who follow my sunnah, they are close to me. So Mufti Taqi Sahab, Hafizahullah, used to say that our father, Mufti Shafi Sahab Rahmatullah, used to mention this story many times in his lectures. One day it was only myself and my father sitting, and I asked my father that you mentioned this story many times in your lectures. But you don't mention the name of this person. Who is this person who heard this? And this happened to whom? So my father didn't tell me the name, but I kept on pressing him and I said, Father, isn't it that it is you yourself? Finally, Mufti Shafi Sahab admitted, yes, this happened to me myself. When I was in Medina Munawwara a few years ago, and we were talking to Maulana Ismail Badat Sahab, Rahmatullah, who just passed away recently, as you know. They wanted to finish one Quran every day. So Maulana Sulaiman Makta was with me as well. And he asked Maulana Ismail Badat Sahab that, because he was a student of Sheikh Zakaria Rahmatullah, and Sheikh Zakaria actually passed away in his house in Medina Munawwara, that did Sheikh Zakaria ever go in front of the Muwajjah Sharif? Ever? I said no. Sheikh Zakaria never went in front of the Muwajjah Sharif, never went in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He just didn't have the strength to walk there. He just didn't have the strength. That was the adab, that was the respect they had in their hearts. They were afraid they couldn't even go in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then Maulana Ismail Badat was saying that one time we somehow managed to take him near there, and we could see that he was not feeling well at all. We had to bring him back quickly again. So this is what is missing today, or more and more is going from our lives. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, فَإِذَا ضَيَّعُوا ذَلِكَ حَلَكُوا. When we lose this, my ummah will be destroyed. That's why just look at the Rawah ibn Majah, Hadith ibn Majah. That's why you're seeing the problems we are facing today. I'm not halfway through the Quran, but a few weeks ago we were looking in the Dars. We're looking at some verses from Surah Al-Hashr. And the story of the episode of the Banu Nadir, the expulsion of the Banu Nadir from Medina Munawwara is mentioned in Surah Al-Hashr. And you know the verses Allah is saying that these kuffar, these disbelievers, these disbelievers, directly referring to the Jews and the Munafiqeen, but it refers to all the kuffar. O Mu'mineen, they are more afraid of you than they are afraid of Allah. Isn't this in Surah Hashr? They are more afraid of the Mu'mineen. The kuffar are more afraid of the Mu'mineen than they are afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because they have not recognized Allah. Because they don't know Allah. They don't know the majesty of Allah. They don't know the azma of Allah. This is in the Quran, in Surah Hashr. Allah is saying that the kuffar, the disbelievers, they fear the mu'mineen, the true mu'mineen, not people like us, the true mu'mineen, they fear them more than they fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because they have not recognized Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They don't recognize the majesty and the power and the greatness of Allah. They don't recognize. So they don't fear Allah as well. But they know that when they come and when they have to fight hand to hand and face to face with the mu'mineen, they can't stand in front of the imani strength and the fervor and the courage of the mu'min. They can't stand. That's why the next person is saying, that's why these people will only fight you from behind walls and behind forts. They will not be able to fight you in the open land, because they can't stand the bravery of the mu'mineen. So I think Allah is saying that these kuffar are afraid of you, mu'mineen. Still we can't move Israel. 3 billion Muslims can't move Israel. Surrounded by Muslim nations, they can't do anything. And we are moving further and further away from Islam. See, brother was telling me as well, and I read in the paper as well, that they want to open a resort in Jeddah. And this resort in Jeddah, the crown prince, he's totally westernized. They want to open this resort in Jeddah, and women will be allowed to wear bikinis there as well. Because they want to attract people from the West to come and holiday in Saudi Arabia. This is in the news a few days ago. I'm not making it from my pocket. If you ask Ahmad, he'll tell you the link from Daily Telegraph, wherever it was. It was in BBC, everywhere it was. But even BBC, where it didn't say, it just said that it's not clear whether they'll allow women to undress there. But now it's clear as well that they want to open a resort and they want to get tourists from the Western world and they'll be able to wear bikinis there as well. This is where we are going. That Jazirul Arab, that Arab land where Rasulullah said, take the mushrikeen out of this land. Don't allow the kuffar to stay here permanently. Don't allow them to stay here. There has to be one place in the world where the total Islam and total Sharia prevails totally. But even there now we are bringing all these influences inside. This is our condition. So how can we get the help of Allah? So are we really, is it that the kuffar are really afraid of the mu'minin of this zamana? Maybe a few are here and there, as are the kuffar nations afraid of the mu'min nation, Muslim nations? No. When Allah is saying that, look, they are afraid of you, still we are afraid of them. Still we can't do anything against them. This is our condition. May Allah save us and guide us. As a minimum, at least individually we can do something. Individually we can at least get success in the akhirah, even if we don't get success as a whole nation. It looks like, only Allah knows, no one knows when Qiyamah will come. No one knows, only Allah knows, but it looks like as if all small signs of Qiyamah are here. Only Allah knows. Only Allah knows. That does not mean that we say that we don't want to become good Muslims. No. Only now Imam Mahdi will come and he'll be from the family of Rasulullah and then he will do everything. Not necessarily. Even now if we try, Allah's help is with us. So today, this is what's happening. We've lost the respect of the Baytullah, we've lost the respect of Madinah Munawwara, that adab and the respect which we had. When this Baytullah is such a blessed place, in awwala baytin wudiya linnas, the first house to be appointed for the worship of Allah, or the first house to be built on this earth, Lalladhi bi Bakkata is the one which is in Bakka. Another name for Makkah is Bakka. Or according to some Mufassirin, Bakka, the part of Makkah which is directly behind, underneath the Baytullah, that is called Bakka. And the whole city is called Makkah. That's one opinion. Mubarakan. It's a very, very blessed place. Full of blessings. Wa hudan lil alameen. And it's the guidance for the whole of mankind. I was reading one lecture of Pir Zulfikar Naqshbandiya, Hafizahullah, and he did 2 stories about the blessings of this Baytullah. He said, I was in America, and he used to live in America some years back. And there was a program, he had given a bayan. There were women as well behind the curtain. Then I got a message from inside that there is one new Muslim lady who wants to ask you a few questions. I said, okay. And then the person who brought this message, the man who brought this message, he said, she's a very pious lady. And all the other women are saying that her salah is exemplary. When she starts her salah, she gets lost from everything in this dunya. Anyhow, so she asked a few questions. He answered the questions. Then he asked her a question. Okay, tell me the story how you became a Muslim. How you became a Muslim. She said, look, and this is from the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, this story. When there were not that many foreigners in Saudi Arabia. She said that I and my husband is Christian, I was Jewish. And we were working in this American firm in America, in New York. And then our firm had opened an office in Jeddah. That time there were not many foreigners in Saudi Arabia, and to go and work in Saudi Arabia was regarded as very, very difficult. Now it's very easy for foreigners to go and work there, but that time it was very difficult for non-Muslims to work there because they used to find it very strange. And no one, so when we opened an office in the late 60s there in Jeddah, the people said, oh, the company manager said that who is prepared to go to Jeddah? No one was prepared to go. They said, we'll give you this much money, we'll give you extra money, we'll give you this benefit and that benefit and that benefit and that benefit and that benefit. And somehow my husband got convinced, okay, let's try it. So we basically were going to Jeddah. Now I was in Jeddah, living in Jeddah. And then I saw that there were suddenly lots of people coming from throughout the world. They were wearing these 2 sheets of cloth and they were going somewhere. So I asked my husband, who are these people and why are they dressed so funny? He said, these are the people, they've come for Hajj. And they go to Makkah Mukarramah, which is about 30 miles from here. And that's where the Baytullah is. So I kept on looking at these people. People coming in the sea, people coming by plane, people coming by coach, people coming, and then they're all wearing these funny clothes, 2 sheets of cloth, and they're all going and they're singing, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. So one day I told my husband that I want to go and see this place. I want to go and see this place. It must be something very special that hundreds, thousands of people are coming to go there. I want to go and see this house of Allah, this Baytullah. Husband said, no, you're not allowed to go there. Non-Muslims are not allowed to go in the city of Makkah Mukarramah. When the Haram comes, then you can't go there. He said, somehow I managed to convince my husband that we have to go. So he said, okay. First of all, put your scarf on, wear a long abaya, whatever. And he took a scarf, Arabic scarf, and put it on his head as well. And then we choose a time, about Isha time, when we know that all the policemen will be eating the food as well, and they'll be busy as well, it'll be dark as well. So we then got a car and we started going towards Makkah Mukarramah. Now it was right, the time was right, it was dark night as well, and the policemen were all eating the food as well, and they were just waving the people. So we managed to get through as well. No one stopped us, that are you Muslim, not Muslim, what you? So then we went and took a room in the hotel. And then I thought, no, I can't go like this. This is the holy place of the Muslims. Let me take a shower. She took a shower, changed her clothes. Husband did the same thing as well. Then they went and asked them, where is this? They asked the people, where is Baytullah, Baytullah? They could speak a bit Arabic by then. He said, no, go there, that's the Haram, and inside you go, you see the Baytullah. He said, we kept walking. Finally, this is talking about late 60s, early 70s, not that many people. We walked right into the Mataf. And then suddenly I saw the Baytullah. And my husband saw the Baytullah as well. He started crying as well. I started crying as well. I started crying as well. They're not Muslims. Even non-Muslims are affected by the Baytullah, by the Tajalli of Allah. But Muslims go there and we're taking video and we're taking photos, we're talking, we're doing it, we're talking the mobile phone, we're doing this, doing that, doing that. So I started crying and I kept on crying, and my husband started crying. After full 5 minutes, we turned towards each other and my husband asked me, have you found the reality? I said, yes, I found the reality. Then I asked him, have you found the reality? He said, yes, I found the reality as well. He said, there, in front of the Baytullah, I read, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad abduhu wa rasuluh. So no one made me a Muslim, the Baytullah made me a Muslim. Brothers going for Hajj. So you see how much respect, the more adab you give to that place, the more Allah will give you. The more Allah will give you. Today we've lost this. We lost the adab of the Quran Kareem, we lost the adab of the Baytullah, we lost the adab of Medina Munawwara, we lost the adab of Masjid Aqsa, we lost the... The reason is because we can't defend the Masjid Aqsa. The poor Palestinians on their own are defending it against the bullets of the Israelis, and the Muslim nations can't do anything. Doesn't it show that we've lost the respect of the Masjid Aqsa as well? In reality, maybe you see a lot of things with our tongue, but in our hearts we've lost the respect of everything. If we had the respect, then do you think this Muslim nation surrounding there can sit idly and enjoy their why this is happening? No. Hakim al-Maulana has written that there's a difference between the Baytullah or Makkah Mukarramah and Medina Munawwara and the Masjid. There's a difference. What's the difference? One big difference is this, Hakim al-Maulana has written this, and all the Mashayikh agree with it, is this, that from the time of Fathul Makkah, when Rasulullah conquered Makkah Mukarramah without killing anyone, and from the time Rasulullah entered Medina Munawwara without killing anyone, who said Islam spread by the sword? The two biggest marakis of Islam, the two biggest centers of Islam were conquered without shedding blood. Who said Islam spread by the sword? Once Rasulullah entered Makkah Mukarramah in the 8th year of Hijri, and once Rasulullah entered Medina Munawwara after the Hijrah, from that time Makkah Mukarramah and Medina Munawwara are protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not Muslims. But Allah has taken protection of these two places. Allah has taken responsibility to protect it. That's why when Dajjal will come, he won't be able to enter Makkah Mukarramah. He went to Medina Munawwara. He won't, according to one hadith in Musnad Ahmad, he won't be able to enter the Masjid Aqsa as well. But the protection of these two places has been taken over by Allah Himself. Just Allah has taken the protection of the Quran Kareem. Same, Allah has taken the protection of Makkah Mukarramah as well, and Medina Munawwara as well. And you will lose those as well. But until the very end of Qiyamah, until Qiyamah is just about to approach, until that time. That's why it comes in the hadith in Bukhari as well, everywhere as well, that just before Qiyamah, one person with bent legs, one person with dark complexion and bent legs will come and destroy the Baytullah. He'll take apart every brick of the Baytullah. Another riwayah comes, someone will come and set fire to the Baytullah. But this will happen only just before Qiyamah, a few hours, few minutes, few hours, few days before Qiyamah. But until that time, no kafir can conquer Makkah Mukarramah. Until that. And that by that time there will be no mu'min left anyhow on the earth. Because Qiyamah will only come on the kuffar. There will be no mu'min left. When Qiyamah comes, there will be no mu'min left on the earth. Will that happen? No. Allah will take them all away from this dunya before then. Qiyamah will only come on the kuffar. So until that time, right just before Qiyamah, a few hours before, a few minutes before, a few days before, only then the Baytullah will be destroyed. Until that time, no one can destroy the Baytullah. And no kuffar can take over the Baytullah. Allah has taken the protection Himself. Same for Medina Munawwara. Until the very end. It comes in the hadith, Rasulullah said, a time will come when Medina will become barren. Medina will become like a ghost town. Wild animals will live in Medina. One person, in the hadith the name of the tribe is given, will be looking for his goats. And the goats will run away. And he thinks, oh, these goats have now gone in Medina, so he'll try and enter Medina Munawwara. By the time there will be no one living in Medina Munawwara. So he'll come close to Medina Munawwara, and he'll be so, when you see wild animals running around there, and also wild animals, he'll not have the strength to go to inside Medina Munawwara. And then he'll turn back and say, no, I forget my goats, I don't think they're there. He'll turn back to go towards his hometown again, and Qiyamah will come. And suddenly the sword will be blown. Baghtatan, the word is suddenly Qiyamah will come. Someone will be making a deal, someone will be doing this, only kuffar like that. Someone will be doing this, someone will be feeding his camels, someone will be doing this, someone will be selling this. Suddenly Qiyamah will come. So this person, he will try and enter Madinah Munawwara, but by then Madinah will be totally destroyed. There will only be wild animals living there. Then he will not have the strength to enter it. He will turn around, and while he turns around and come in, and suddenly Qiyamah will come. So until that time, no kuffar can conquer Madinah Munawwara. Allah has taken the responsibility. But Jerusalem is a different matter. Jerusalem and Masjid Aqsa is a different matter. The kuffar will conquer it as well, the Muslims will conquer back as well, whatever will happen. So then someone asked Hakim al-Mu'tazili, then why is this? When that is also a blessed land, Makkah Mukarram is also a blessed land, Madinah Munawwara is also a blessed land, then why this only for Makkah Mukarram and Madinah Munawwara and not for Jerusalem and not for Masjid Aqsa? He said because, or the ulama have written, because that's the litmus test for the Muslims. The litmus test for the Muslims. If Jerusalem is under the kuffar, that shows Allah is unhappy with the Muslims. When Jerusalem will be conquered by the Muslims, it shows Allah is happy with the Muslims. Simple as that. So Allah had to keep that litmus test. How do you know that we are successful or not as a nation, as a Muslim, as a ummah? I'm not talking about individual people, a few countries here and there. As a whole Muslim nation, how do you know if Masjid Aqsa is in the control of the Muslims? It's a sign that the whole Muslim nation is successful. And if Masjid Aqsa is controlled by the kuffar, as at the moment, it's a sign that the whole Muslim nation has failed. So Allah has kept Jerusalem as a litmus test, as a test to find out where we are internationally. Anyhow, that's the story I wanted to tell you about the blessings of the Baytullah. Peace be upon Naqshbandi Hafizullah was saying that he was an engineer, so he's an engineer by profession. See, I was working in this engineering firm in Pakistan, and there was a fellow engineer with me. And he was from a very rich family. It was a very rich family, land, he had lots of land there in Pakistan. And very well connected politically as well. All his uncles were big brigadier generals and generals in the Pakistan army. He was very well connected, and as you know, in Pakistan, the army has lots of power. In fact, governments are formed and destroyed by the army, they say. They have the hidden power in Pakistan. That's what people say. I don't know. I don't know that much, but that's what they say. Someone can only be a prime minister in Pakistan if the army is happy with him, otherwise they can't. Army allows it, otherwise they can't. It's a very strong army. I mean, they have a lot of political control from the back. They've got their own hospitals, they've got everything. They have the generals there, they're very powerful. So all his family were very connected financially as well, politically as well. All his uncles were brigadier generals in the Pakistan army. And he was a very good engineer as well. He studied in I don't know how many countries. But when he came back and he was studying, he lost his iman. He lost his iman. He used to come and say that, where is Allah? Where is Allah? Why are you people wasting your time? You said openly in the office. And he's from Muslim background, Muslim family, Muslim name. And he was so handsome. And he had a powerful physique. That you could put a glass of water on his chest and it won't fall down. He had a powerful, six-pack they call it. Even I'm learning all these things. He had a six-pack. Qasim? Understand? 6-pack. Now what happened? And then his mother told him, you should get married. You should get married. Because he was so handsome as well, so politically connected as well, such a rich landed gentry, such a rich family as well. Sheikh Zulfikar Naqshbandi said, in 1 month he got 109 proposals. In 1 month he got how many? 109 proposals where the girl's family are proposing that we can get our daughter married. And they are doctors as well, very, very educated girls as well, very, very pretty girls as well. They are film stars as well, whatever they may be. In 1 month, you got how many proposals? 109. So you can imagine how, as far as the world is concerned, how honorable he was, worldly wise. But he had no iman. So he came to me and said that, whom should I get married to? In 1 month, my mother said I have to get married. In 1 month I got 109 proposals. I don't have to give to anyone. 109 girls have given proposals to me, their families. So Sheikh Zulfikar said, I gave him some advice. I said, look, out of the 109, choose 5. And then the Sharia gives you permission to go and speak to them or see them. And see them and then make a decision after that. So he came to ask me for this advice, so I got the opportunity to tell him. Yes, just a few days before that, one of his relatives had passed away for this engineer. And he was from Muslim background or whatever, he never used to believe anything. He had to go to Salat Janazah as well. So when he came back to the office the next day, he said, I made the Salat Janazah of so-and-so yesterday. I put my hand on so many graves, I couldn't see any heat in any of them. What's this, Allah can punish you in the grave? What's this rubbish you're talking about? As someone said, they said the only spirit we saw was the spirit in the bottle. There's no other spirit inside there. The only soul we saw was the soul fish, S-O-L-E, soul fish. He was making all this thing. But then a few days later he came to ask me for the advice regarding whom he should get married to. So I thought, good opportunity. So I told him, look brother, I've heard you saying these things. Don't say such things. Don't say such things. A time may come when Allah may catch you. Make tawbah and don't say such things. So the young man said, oh, I will see. We will see. Anyhow, said a few days later, what happened was that he was riding his motorcycle and he had a small accident. He was not that greatly hurt. 1-2 days back, he came to the work, so I asked him, what happened? Heard you had an accident? He said, yeah, I was riding my motorcycle and suddenly my mind went blank. It was a nice clear road, there was no one there, nothing happened, everything was okay, and suddenly my mind went blank. There's a darkness in front of my eyes, and I crashed. But I didn't get that much injured. A few days later, he was walking down the road and suddenly blackness came in front of his eyes and he fell down. So I told him that, look brother, Allah is giving you some knockings to make you open your eyes. He said, what? Don't non-Muslims fall sick? Don't Muslims fall sick as well? So what is it? Just because I fall sick doesn't mean there's something that is Allah. There's no proof there's Allah. Don't Muslims get sick as well? I got sick. What's wrong with it? Anyhow, he got ill. He started getting a fever. His family took him to the army hospital. 9 the biggest doctors were brought. They said he's got some sort of neurological illness. And operation will have to be done. They gathered the best doctors in Pakistan, because the army hospital had been. They performed a 9-hour operation. And he felt a bit better. After a few months, he came back to work. But then he became ill again. Then such happened that sweat used to come out of his hand. His whole body started sweating the whole day. He couldn't work in the office because sweating. So he couldn't even sign. He was trying to sign and the whole paper was full of sweat. So he couldn't work. He came back. Anyhow, so I went to see him. Says, illness is such that big problem. So Sheikh Zulfikar said, I said, okay, I'll take responsibility to find out which is the best doctor for that illness you've got. I found out after a lot of research, there's one doctor in Canada who can who has, you could say, looked after or treated patients with similar symptoms that one his person has. So we booked 2 tickets. But I told him, look brother, go to see the doctor, but make one promise to me that on the coming back from there, you will make Umrah and come. Because he was so ill, I said, okay, don't give me trouble, okay, I'll make Umrah. So he said, Sheikh Zulfikar said, I booked their tickets for him and his uncle, or his brother, I can't remember, his brother I think. And I booked the tickets such a way that coming time they come via Jeddah and have a 2-day stopover in Jeddah. So hopefully he'll perform Umrah and come. And they went to Canada. The doctor performed the treatment. And he said, I've treated 9 people who have been successfully treated by this treatment of this illness. He repeated treatment once, twice, thrice. Then he called them and said, sorry, treatment is not working. And he told his brother, I give him 3 days. Within 2-3 days, he's going to go. I don't think he's going to survive. So the brother said, okay, let me staying in Canada and he dying in Canada, I take him straight away to Pakistan, at least you can see the mother's face. Immediately, they got the booking, they arrived in Jeddah. Now, they were saying to the airline there, look, we want to go straight away to Pakistan. Our connection from Jeddah to Lahore, whatever, is after 3 days, or 2 days, whatever. But we want to go just today, just now. This person is very, very ill. Sorry, everything is full. We can't do anything for you. We tried, but nothing was available. Then they said, okay, the most we can do is we can give you a tour, we can allow you to go into the Jeddah town, so you don't have to stay in the airport for 3 days. So we went into the town. When we went out, I told my brother, look, we have come here, and look, we had promised that Maulana Sahib that you will go and see the Baytullah as well. So we have come here and now we've tried our best, we can't get that booking, we have to have 2-3 days, we have to kill 2-3 days here anyhow. So why don't we just go and have a look? So somehow we went to Makkah Mukarramah. And now I was standing in front of the Baytullah. And then I said, I made dua to Allah. Ya Allah, if you exist, if you do exist, then cure me. He's trying to test Allah. If you do exist, then cure me, so I can see. He was so weak by then, he was like bones. He had been brought in a wheelchair to the Baytullah. If you exist and cure me, so then tomorrow I will perform tawaf like all these people are doing, on my feet. He couldn't even walk. He said, that night I went to sleep, I woke up in the morning, I was totally healthy. I was totally healthy. And I performed tawaf. I did Umrah and came back. I'm now totally healthy. So when he came back to Pakistan and he was totally healthy, when Sheikh Zulfikar went to see him, there was still half an hour left before the Salah time. He said, let's go and read Salah. He said, what? You were such that you were not doing and now it's still half an hour left for Salah time and you say, let's go for Salah. Can you tell me a story? Then he told him the whole story. This is what happened. There is an Allah. And that Baytullah has made dua to Allah. Allah accepted that dua. And in one night when the doctor said, you've got 2-3 days to live, next day I could start walking and talking and I became totally healthy. So these are the blessings of the Baytullah. The time is up, 5 minutes left. So I recited one verse regarding Makkah Mukarramah. And in Madinah Munawwarah is very, very blessed as well. And Allah protects Medina Munawwara. I read out one verse from Surah Al-Ahzab, 9th verse. It's a long, very long story. It'll take about 2 hours to tell the whole story of the Battle of Ahzab, the Battle of the Trench, the Battle of Khandaq, which was the last battle which the Muslims had to fight in Medina Munawwara. And a very, very difficult, as Aisha Anna says, Salman says that of all the battles Rasulullah fought, the most difficult for him was the Battle of Ahzab. Which lasted for 1 month. The Sahaba couldn't sleep for 1 month. Because the tent was dug. The Banu Qurayza, the Jewish tribe, broke the pact with Rasulullah and they were waiting. As soon as the kuffar jump into Medina, we will join forces with them and destroy the Muslims. The Banu Qurayza were waiting inside Medina Munawwara, just waiting when these people can. The kuffar were 15,000. The Mu'min were 3,000, hungry. Couldn't sleep well. But suddenly they think that maybe they should start firing arrows or try and jump, and then suddenly in the middle of the night the Sahabas wake up. They couldn't sleep for 1 month. Such a difficult it was. Until finally Allah's help came. But what I'm saying is, how did Allah protect this Medina Munawwara? Very, very difficult battle. 15,000 kuffar. The mushrikeen, and with 1,000 camels, 300 horses. And not only the Quraysh from Makkah Mukarramah, but also the Banu Ghatfan, which is a very fierce tribe of Arab people. They were brought in as well. And in the next verse, Allah is saying that it was so difficult for the Sahaba, it was as if their hearts were in their mouths. Zilzal and Sharid, Allah was shaking the Mu'mineen like earthquake, but the Sahaba remained steadfast. Look how Allah protected them. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu dhkuru ni'matallah. O you who have iman, remember Allah's favor to you. Ni'matallahi alaykum iz ja'atkum junudun. When during the battle of Ahzab, the combined Jewish and Mushrikeen armies approached you in Medina. فَأَرْسَلْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ رِيحًا. After 1 month of mujahid and struggle, what happened? Allah's help came. Against which we sent in your defense a fierce wind. وَجُنُودًا لَمْ تَرَوْهَا. And troops of angels that you could not see, but which caused fear in the hearts of the enemy. In the camp of the kuffar, Allah sent angels. The angels did not even fight. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرًا. Allah is watchful over what you do. As Allah watched the sacrifice and the mujahidah of the Sahaba Kiram and Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. 1 month they couldn't sleep. They were hungry as well. Hardly could eat anything. And the famous story of Jabir radiallahu anhu, which is connected to this, the Jabir and Salman Farsi who gave, when the Rasulullah saw that the kuffar have gathered this whole army and are now coming to attack Medina Munawwara and want to destroy Islam forever. He didn't need to have consultation. He brought the Sahaba to consult, what should we do? Salman Farsi gave the opinion, let's build a trench. The part of Medina which is exposed, the north part of Medina. Let's build a trench. The trench was 3.5 miles long. 3.5 miles long. And the Sahaba dug the trench in 6 days. How many? 6 days the trench was dug. Rasulullah separated the Sahaba, the Muhajirin, Ansar, 10 people. And given you dig. Now because Salman Farsi was expert at big things, he'd come from Iran. The Muhajirin said that he's ours. We want him in our group. The Ansar said, we want him in ours. So Rasul said those famous words, As-Salmanu minna. Salman is neither Muhajir nor Ansar, he's one of me. Min Ahlul Bayt, he's from my family. Then Rasul made a group for Salman at home. 5 Muhajirin, 5 Ansars. Anyhow, it was a very, very difficult battle. It's a long story. The time is up. People are jumping up and down. So anyhow, I recited that verse as well. I recited the verse regarding Masjid Aqsa. Subhanalladhi asra bi abdihi laylam min al-masjid al-harami il-masjid al-aqsa alladhi barakna hawlahu linuriyahu min ayatina innahu as-sami'ul basir. Pure is that being who transported his slave Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by night from al-masjid al-haram in Makkah to al-masjid al-aqsa in Jerusalem, the vicinity of which we have blessed. Hawlahu. Hawlahu meant the whole of Sham, and especially Palestine. Allah says it's a blessed land. Why? لِنُرِيَهُ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا. Blessed area, the area was the place of worship of all the Anbiya, many of whom are buried there, is revered by Muslims as well as others, and the area is well irrigated and fertile to show him Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam our signs. And then the Miraj took place, isn't it? First Allah brought Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Makkah Mukarramah to Medina Munawwara in 0 time. In 0 time. The whole universe, every atom came to a stop. Allah Alam, but this is one interpretation of it. Every atom came to a stop, time came to a stop, and some carried out this momentous journey from Makkah to Jerusalem and then to the 7 heavens and came back. Only when he came back to Makkah Mukarramah, time started ticking. Some went from Makkah Mukarramah to Jerusalem. And in the books of Hadith, you find what Rasul saw when he was going from Makkah to Medina, what he saw. He saw so many different things. Allah took him through the Alam-e-Barzakh, the Alam-e-Qabr. And then after that, Allah took him to the Alam-e-Bala. Okay. So, Maulana, your signs are over, but our signs are over as well. May Allah give us, what can I say, the adab and the respect of these 3 holy lands, which are all the holy lands of the Muslims. When I went for Umrah and came back, I bought some dates. I do that every day for the people at work. I put a big sign there, from the Holy Land. So people ask me, you've been to Jerusalem? No. Jerusalem is not the only Holy Land. Haven't you heard of Makkah, Mukarramah and Medina Munawwara? You see, you've got only one Holy Land, you've got 3 Holy Lands. It's like you've only got one Good Friday, you've got 52 Good Fridays. Allah has given this ummah a lot. Christians have got one Good Friday. We've got 50, 51, 52 Good Fridays. They've got one Holy Land, we've got 3 Holy Lands. May they enable us to appreciate the bounty of Allah which is upon us and make us true Muslims, me as well, all of you brothers as well. Jazakumullahu khair wa akhir alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. It's time for Azan. 5 minutes more. Allah.